Hello. Today is November the 11th, 2008. It's Veterans Day, and all across the United States, our fellow countrymen are honoring the men and women who have served in our armed forces. Now, those of us who follow Asatru obviously also participate in this because many of us are veterans. But at the same time, there's a deeper undertone to November the 11th for those of us who follow the native religion called Asatru. I'm Steve McNallen of the Asatru Folk Assembly, and I'm here today to talk to you about the Feast of the Einherjar. The Einherjar are those chosen warriors dedicated to the god Odin, who, upon their death, are deemed worthy of being taken to Valhalla, Odin's hall, and spending their afterlife with him. The Valkyries watch them in their final conflict, their last battle on this earth, as they're putting forth all their power and all their prowess. And if they are worthy upon death, the Valkyries, those magnificent maidens in their armor, flying on their horses, come swooping over the battlefield and pluck up the Einherjar and take them to Valhalla. Upon arriving in Valhalla, they're met by a Valkyrie who bears a horn of foaming mead to welcome them to Valhalla and to wash away the sweat of their exertions and welcome them into the new life in the afterlife, as it were, into the new immortality, their exalted state. They're taken into Valhalla, and there, so the stories go, they spend all their nights in wonderful feasting and all their days in furious fighting. Now, the fighting is not without purpose. It's not just recreation of a bunch of hardy individuals. The fighting is to continually hone their warrior skills, because the day will come at the Battle of Ragnarok that ends this cycle of time, when the Einherjar will stand alongside Odin and all the other gods in their conflict against the giants and those forces of disorder that would destroy all that is. I think we have to look at the story of Valhalla in a bit of a metaphorical sense. We all know that the best of parties gets old after a day or two, and an eternity of nothing but literally feasting and fighting would soon become a punishment rather than a paradise. I think that the point of the story about Valhalla is that even in the afterlife, the individual can attain an exalted situation, an exalted condition, a spiritual evolution in which they still have purpose, they still have cause, they still have great deeds to perform. In other words, death isn't just the end. It's not the end of will and of evolution and of striving, but merely a different venue for continuing that striving and that evolution. So once again, Feast of the Einherjar is upon us. It's November the 11th, and not only across the United States, but all around the world, people who follow Asatru will be raising their horns, honoring the god Odin, god of battles, honoring the Einherjar, who even now are in Valhalla preparing for the conflicts to come, and honoring also our own kin, our own friends, our own family who have served their country and their community. Einherjar is a good time to recall the role of the warrior in our community, in our lives. Given the nature of the world, given the nature of human beings, there must be that group that places their lives, destructive forces, and ourselves. And those people are the warriors. They serve. Obviously, this includes people like the military, but it can include others as well. Certainly policemen, firemen, many other people risk their lives in order to protect the rest of us. All those people show the warrior spirit. It's also a good time to remember our own duty, to inculcate in our own hearts the virtues of the warrior. We too must be stronger. We too must be fit. We too must be dedicated and focused and committed, not just to our own evolution, although that's important too, but also to the protection of all those around us, to the service of our gods and our folk. So on this Einherjar, I raise my horn to you and wish upon you the blessings of the gods and of your noble ancestors.